tuned into the show
that informs, improves, and inspires racers everywhere.
The Northwest Race Report. The Northwest Race Report, brought to you in part by True Tech Automotive, Vancouver, Washington, home of the In the Family Racer Discount, and by Scott Seal Coat and Striping. For over 25 years, whether it's sealing or striping, you can count on Scott. And by Product41.com. The Northwest Race Report is heard exclusively at TerryBridgesRacing.com. And now back to your horsepower and performance hosts, Terry Bridges, Glenn Tower, and Jeff Eden. What it is, racers? I'm your horsepower and performance host, Terry Bridges, and welcome to another edition of the Northwest Race Report. In the house with me tonight, in the studio, the one, the only, Mr. Glenn Lippy Tower. What's going on, Lip?
It's all good in the hood tonight.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
You got the Bud King shirt on. That's kind of a classic T-shirt.
I know. I wish I wouldn't have ruined it.
Is that Kenny Bernstein?
It is Bernstein.
Ooh, that's old school right there.
It is.
And counting the days.
How do you want them?
Yeah, right.
Do you have
Seconds,
them? Do you have it in
minutes?
minutes? Yeah, I was gonna say
38 working days, 7 weeks, 2 days, or 8 Fridays left.
the loader, Mr. Jeff Eden. What's going on, Jeffrey?
Oh, fresh off the massage table, feeling good.
Really?
You didn't even have to tap out today.
I didn't tap out today.
You're getting used to those elbows, huh?
Ooh, this gal, she's a rofer. So that's what they do, is deep tissue.
Love
Ooh.
that. Love that.
And now, is this on your knee?
Oh, actually for my back, for the nerves before.
Right.
So
If she did that, if she put the elbow in your knee, would you be able to stand it?
No.
Yeah.
He said no.
It was a quick answer.
No. and I'm being surprised. To be honest with you, I'm surprised I'm even walking after this weekend. But
So if she starts easing her elbow down there, you say
She watches. She knows what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had a great weekend. We went down to Astoria and
Oh yeah, for your anniversary weekend.
run around out at Fort Stevens and went out through all the gun preventments, the old fort, and looked around. It was cool.
And the weather cooperated.
Oh my God, I was in a t-shirt walking on the beach.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, did you take the motor home?
No, we just.
Dude, you got this brand new motor home, and you were all jacked to drive it, and now
What? Why?
Oh no, you're
that's
saving
too
it.
short.
I can't wait till the NWRR comes rolling in that motor home.
17th.
Yep, it'd be like, well, it won't be like Spicoli, but it.
Nice try.
Yeah, but yeah, it'd be kind of cool. The party has arrived. Who's P1 tonight?
Brett Meyer, P1.
Wow,
Back on top, just like that.
out of
Boom.
nowhere. Hey, and you know who P2 is?
Yes, I do.
He is my 5-year friend.
I saw that today.
Isn't that awesome?
I saw that.
Yeah. Dan Watkins. Yeah.
Good guy.
Cool cat, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Scott Keeney coming in after that. Ronnie Swires.
Oh, Swires is in that. You know, I talked to him last night. He was tired. He's going to be gone for 23 days this next outing for his driver coaching thing. He's going to be gone for 23 days.
So Ford starts now.
Pretty much. He says it's going to be touch and go. But
Well, good for him.
But get this. Ronnie Swires is going to be live in the studio next week.
Nice.
So we'll have him as a guest host next week. So
We better bring good beer that day.
yes, we better. Yes, we better.
He's got a great sale going on, trailer sale, cleaning out, making room. Yeah, guys, look him up on Facebook and order what you need.
Yeah. Those of you who don't know who Ronnie Swires is, he is the owner of Product41.com. And you can check it out at that web address, Product41.com. He is the MyLaps, AMB. He is the guru. He's got stuff for motorcycles and I'll tell you a cool story he told me last night. It was really cool. But before that, we got a great show for you tonight. Our Blue Line Graphics in the seat guest tonight in week 2 of our chassis month, thanks to Lippy who got that going, is Mr. Josh Williams of Charger Racing Chassis.
Looking forward to that.
Yes. You guys will love this guy. He is, he's what you think, you know what I mean? He's one of us. He's really a cool guy. We got to chat for quite a while last night. Super cool guy. And then with him, going to be on like a conference call, is the owner, the guy that makes it all happen and gives them all the money to do all this cool stuff, is Boomer Halk.
Woo.
So we're in store. We got one of the top chassis going on right now, and you'll get to hear all about it and what their plans are. And they got a cool spindle. I mean, they got lots of neat stuff going on.
Sean Halbert in the house.
Ooh,
Sean in the dirt.
Big Sean. Yeah.
Brian Williamson. Ernie Coniford. And
Confer's on?
Conifer's on.
Hey,
And-
Big Ernie.
And the main man, Chizzy.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. I didn't get all the results, but I did get some from the Barn Burner. And we're going to talk a little bit. I'm just going to talk about something that I saw on Facebook, and I think it's something that gets doesn't get a lot of coverage. It does, but it doesn't. We just kind of think about it, and something pretty nasty happened over the weekend, but yeah. And I just want to say I saw this on Facebook, so I'm just going to give it a shout just because he was, he put it up. I don't know if you saw it, Lip. Matt D. Benedetto Racing. They're looking for a sponsor. They're back east, but I just thought, what the heck? This weekend's upcoming event. So if you have a business or you know somebody, racers back there, Chizzy, Confer, some of those guys that want to help out, they're a pretty small race team, I guess. And he was reaching out on Facebook, did a nice little video on it, and they just need a little bit of help.
Well, you seen who he got, didn't you?
No, who? Benedetto?
Yeah, he got three of the racers have stepped up, and Daryl Waltrip threw 5,000 at him. I can't take why am I drawing a blank on this one? My favorite person.
Kyle Busch.
No, his buddy Hamlin. Hamlin threw 5,000 at him, and
Wow.
one other one threw 5,000 at him.
Oh my gosh. That's wonderful. Well, then he doesn't need my little crazy post for sure. But
yeah, it was. I mean, and that was shot up today.
wow,
So-
good for Matt. Way to go, Matt.
Well, and I think
Hey, you know what? You got to ask.
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. I mean, you don't have to.
Harvick. That's the other one.
Kevin Harvick.
Yeah.
He threw $5,000 at him.
Yeah.
So he went
Well,
from
Harvick can afford it. He's won the last two races.
from zero, doing a video saying sorry about this guy's butt,
Yeah. Well, he's won.
to $15,000.
I mean, they're budgeted for a certain amount of races, and this is a non-budget race. So, but they've been doing so well that they wanted to race, so they put it out to try it.
Love it.
Nice.
That is going on. Well, Matt, anyway, I tried. Okay, I did. I tried. But you should go to their page anyway. It's Go Fast, GOFAS Racing on Facebook, and at least like them and tell them congratulations and all that cool stuff. That's awesome. I mean, that's super awesome.
Hey, I got something that's awesome.
What's awesome?
Well, I figured when Yakima had went away as no more a racetrack, that the Fall Classic could win away.
Yeah. Well, they didn't. I don't think they sold it yet.
It's not going to open, from what I understood.
Oh, okay.
Bummer.
So the Fall Classic is now in Spokane.
Woohoo! Wow.
They've picked it up the 29th and 30th of
That's
September.
huge.
Yeah, because I figured that race was gone. I mean, there wouldn't be nothing, but Spokane has picked it up. So
Wow, that's really good news. And you know what? Good for Spokane. That's good. That's good for those guys. That'll be a shot in the arm for sure. Because I was there one year. They had 400 cars there. I mean, you couldn't. You had to put your jacket at an angle in order. I mean, that's how shoehorned in there they were.
well, and two, and I think it might even help the car count because you're going to have Idaho and Montana are going to be closer to it than coming into Yakima. So there's a chance of it being a huge race.
Yes, that's awesome.
It certainly is.
Boy, this is like Good News Wednesday, isn't it? This is really cool.
Brian Nevins Jr.?
That's next week's chassis builders showing up tonight. Checking us out.
On.
Hey, right on. Right on. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to talking to Josh. Like I said, good, super good guy.
Yep.
And they got lots of good stuff going. And I'm not even going to ruin it. I'm just going to wait. They'll be calling us about the 7 o'clock hour. For those of you that are on Pacific time, it'd be 10 o'clock back east time.
Yeah, that'd be the other coast.
Yes. I tried to look this thing up. This just kills me. I get on Race Monitor, and I type in the Frostbuster, right? And Buddy Anderson won it, right? And I think Evan C. was second or third or whatever. But then I go to maybe I was looking at the wrong year. I don't know. Because they got, but instead of saying UAS qualifying, UAS, it says unlimited all-star or unlimited race. Unlimited race. So you got to go through and say, oh, this one only had 3 laps. That's not it. You know what I mean? I don't get it. But congratulations to Buddy Anderson, who won the 2018 Frostbuster. Yeah, buddy. That's pretty awesome.
Haul in the mail.
Yes.
Evan broke, plug wire came off, is what Cox says.
Yeah. And it's one of those NGK, those black little plastic things.
Oh, yeah.
And they said that they actually have to put Loctite, like blue or something on there?
I heard that, yep.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Really? When we ran the, I don't know if you remember them, but they were just like a little bulb.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They were really thick, and they had the little thing you can reach in there with the pliers and crimp it. Those things never came off.
Well, I think what actually happened on this one is, remember the spark plugs? They have the top that threads onto them.
Yes.
And that's aluminum. So I think what happened is it rattled around and the threads got loose and the whole thing came off. So that piece was still stuck in the plug wire.
See, we never when we ran when Phil and I ran the twin Yamahas on the laydown, we had the same thing, but they were the champions, and they had the threads, but we just shoved that thing on there, so it kind of ground the thread thing.
Chizzy told you how to get the results.
So, I heard
Qualifying and results.
Okay, go to MSUAS page for qualifying and finish. Okay, well, Cody was Cody third? I mean, we were looking quickly. We saw that. I saw Cody's name there. I don't know, but
I thought Cody was racing the big one.
So did I. But maybe maybe that reignited.
Maybe you got a foot in each car or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I tell you what, that Monty looks pretty good around that track. I love the way for a stalker.
Yeah,
it lays right over on the right.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good for those guys. That's awesome.
Having some fun back there.
Absolutely. Well, I don't have much in the way of results. I got some barn burner results from down in Sanderson. Yeah, Christian Hickman, Tim Cruz, and Austin Van Hoff were the top 3 in clones. Stock appearing Richie Goulart. That guy must be tough. That guy wins everything. Porter Lund and Mike Higgins, second and third. Pure stock went to Phil Goulart, Nick Lawrence, and Greg Damaria. Connor Cruz, Melinda Clay, and Emily Van Hoff were in the junior flat cart. Bingo, bango, bongo. Dream Cup. Now, this is a little asphalt, so some of the dirt guys going to have to hang on a bit. But August 17th, up at Sumas.
Oh, nice.
SEMA Motorsports Academy. $10,000 they're putting up.
Look out.
So we say that, and we're all excited, right? Those guys back east are going, $10,000. we contemplate not even going for that one.
We got $50,000 back
here.
here.
Or 20, or 25, but that's big for us out here.
Yep.
And that's supposed to be drawing quite a few of the shifters and the tag guys and some of that stuff. So keep your eyes peeled for the Dream Cup at Sumas. SEMA Motorsports Academy. You can find him online. Just type that in. Bang. Excuse me. Claudio Valiente, a longtime Miami guy, who is no longer. But yeah, that should be a pretty good show. Big shout out to Kobe Copeland and Brody Roa. They did pretty good down there at one night I think they did pretty good down there at Vegas at the Outlaw show down there. Ronnie was down there for that.
Nice.
I wonder if he ran into Burris. I wonder if Burris was down there.
I thought he just went down for the NASCAR race.
Oh, Mike?
No.
For the okay.
Ronnie.
Okay.
He had a picture. He met up with Princess down there.
Who's Princess?
Shaw.
Oh, really?
They bumped in.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, awesome. The Princess. Wow-wee. Oh, and also coming up this weekend, I'll be there to call it, the first annual. I got hollered at. I did some reading. You can't say first annual because it can't be an annual event until after the first event. So, the inaugural Pacific Northwest Micro Wingless Nationals coming up this weekend. And
where's that?
That's at Salem Speedway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And Saturday night show, the micro purse is $2,000. It's split through the top 5. Sign-ins 2 to 4, $40 plus a pit pass. Drivers meeting at 4:30. Hot laps and racing start at 5 o'clock. The other classes are going to have open 500s, dwarfs, Pro 4s, midgets, micro 600 restricted. No mini stocks. Sorry, mini stocks. Sunday, another $2,000 split to the top 5. Sign-ins at 8 to 10. Same price, 40 plus a $10 pit pass. Drivers meeting at 10:30. Hot laps at 11. Racing to follow. Going to have the cage carts are on Sunday, so beginner box, box stock, 125, 250, 500. You know the drill on that. So Hunter Stanley is got to be one of the favorites, and there's a kid by the name of Justin McConville. I'm telling you right now, dude is money. Dude is seriously money. Boy, it's tough to pick. I mean, you say that, but then you got Lindsey Barney. I mean, she went undefeated, a season or two ago down there. So she's going to be there.
Queen Bee's going to be there.
Queen Bee's going to be there. Becca Clark. And people might say, well, it's her first. I'm telling you, she's a different breed of young lady.
She's a wiener.
She gets after it.
Mm-hmm.
And let me say, she's not afraid to play hardball. If you want to get nasty, she'll play with you.
She'll drive it in there.
Yeah.
Looks like our very own Scott Sealcoat's going to be down there with Oliver making some laps as well.
That'll be cool.
Yep, good to see that.
Oliver
back out.
Rolwich. Yeah, man. So that's going to be a heck of a show. 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. Yours truly will be there, so check it out. I'll probably be going to do some live audio. I'm not all the way set up for my video stuff yet, but still, this should be a great show. Looking forward. There's supposed to be a bunch of guys from Cali coming up too, so it should be good. Show. It should be a really good show. Really good show. Let's see here. You got anything, Lip? I mean, we got some great guests coming up in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, this chassis thing's really taken off. It's going to be a great deal, so looking forward to it for sure.
So next week we have...
Legend Chassis is going to be coming on next week. I don't want to blow the lid off this thing much. I learned a lot with my brief conversation with Brian today. They've got 2 different divisions in their chassis division, so we're going to be talking to the 4-stroke next week, and then after that we'll get into the big horsepower the following week. So it'll be a good deal. I learned some new things. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but stay tuned for those Legend fans out there.
Yeah. And spread the word. If you got if you know of a chassis builder that somebody get a hold of Ultramax, have them give us a call because we'd like to get them on. And it doesn't matter how many you sell, whatever. We just want to talk to you, get you out there, help promote you as best we can. So
exactly.
give us a shout. Either hit Lippy up on the Northwest Race Report Facebook page, or myself, or Jeffrey. Either way. And then they have individual pages too. Glenn Tower or Jeff Eden. You can find them both on Facebook. Drop them a line. Say, hey, what do we need to do? And we'll get you hooked up.
Definitely.
For sure. For sure. Well, since we don't have a whole lot in the way of results, because we had the weekend off, they had the horse thing going down there at Salem.
Yeah, there's something we missed last week that we really should address, and I know it gets addressed quite a bit at the go-kart tracks during the drivers' meetings and stuff like that. I'm sure both of you guys saw it. There was a weight.
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. Yes.
That came off of a cart and ended up hitting somebody in the helmet, and it was a pretty good blow. It definitely woke somebody up. And, we do need to talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All weights should be tied down very well. Everything, if you're going to mount it to your seat, it should be washered on the back side with an extremely large washer. I believe that there's the sanctioning bodies right now are working on a new rules revamp for this, to where, if it weighs more than 3 pounds, you have to run a 3/8 bolt, which it's kind of a gray area now on what it is actually required to have. So they're going to be boosting it up to put some good rules on this thing now, to where when you bolt it on the seat, it has to have at least 1.25 inch washer on the back side of it. It's going to be at least a 3/8 bolt if it weighs more than 3 pounds. Everything is either got to be double nutted or safety wired. These are things that should be done anyways. We shouldn't even be at this point, but obviously we are, and people have been hurt. I've been struck by weight on the track. I think Jason's got a great rule down there. Is if your weight comes off, you're done.
You're done. That's what I said. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Because some of those weight chunks are pretty big, and they weigh pretty good. And you see them with they got a 3/4 or a 1/2 inch hole in them, and then a
1/4 inch bolt.
Yeah, with a great big floppy washer on there, and the thing sucked halfway through. I agree. If the weight comes off, you're done.
Yeah.
Not even a question. It doesn't matter. You're done. I mean, that's going to kill somebody.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically a missile out there. So, it's just something we need to think about. All weights should be painted a bright color. I know Salem says white. I don't care what it is, white, yellow, neon green. They all should be painted. So when it comes off and lands on the track, everybody sees it. I've seen weights that are wrapped in black tape. That's just the worst thing you can do, because it blends right into our surface. You can't see it. You hit it, it flips it up. The guy behind you finds it. It's just not a good situation. That stuff all needs to be painted. I'd like to see numbers on everything, so when it comes off,
we know who it is. And if you borrow the darn thing, it doesn't matter. You borrow the darn thing, you put some yellow tape or whatever over that, and you put your number on it. So whoever, if you borrowed it or whoever did, I agree, Lippy.
Yes, people need to be accountable for it, and things are going to start happening. Again, this is a missile out there at 40 or 50 miles an hour when it comes flying off and starts bouncing up in the air and lands on whoever's behind you. Just not a good situation.
What broke his nose? It hit the base of it. It broke his nose, and it was Mullis's wife made a post, and she says, I hope I don't get yelled at or hollered at over this, but I just got to say, and it's like, number one, anybody that's going to yell at you for making a post like that, needs to have their head examined, number one. And number two, like she said, if that would have hit him in the chest, we wouldn't be talking broken. We'd be probably talking the guy's dead. And the other thing she was furious about was there was no ambulance there.
Yeah.
And, and I guess my answer to that was, you mean to tell me all the money that's going on back there, big purses and all this stuff, and there's no, and people can't afford an ambulance? I mean, you can't afford to not have one.
Well, I can shed some light on that, being a race club that puts on races ourselves, and what our insurance says is if the ambulance is more than 17 minutes away, you have to have him on grounds. If it's under 17 minutes away, you can have a registered EMT on site. So, I don't know what the situation was back there, but, that's what our situation is. We always have an EMT on hand because we're under 17 minutes to an ambulance showing up. So,
well, listen to this. Ernie Comfort says, I have seen sand-filled lifting weights come off carts on the track.
Yeah.
Bad news. I wouldn't recommend using those at all.
Yep.
Chizzy says that's an insurance violation. Big no-no. So he's saying BS on that. That's an insurance violation. And Daryl Kelso says we have to paint and number our weights around here.
Yeah. See, that's the way it should be. I agree.
Yeah. And honestly, it's a shame you have to make a penalty so harsh, but in order to get people's attention,
yeah,
that's what you got to do. So basically, if it comes off, like you said, I love Jason's rule, you're done. We're not even going to talk about it. You just go and load your stuff. I mean, it's just one of those things, and I think once everybody gets used to it, they will adjust, or they won't race. I mean, that's crazy. That's too bad.
Well, it actually should be part of tech at that point in time.
And that's the other thing I said. This self-tech stuff doesn't work.
No.
But, I mean, especially with the numbers and stuff on them. I mean, you look at it, you see the deal, but still they need to have...
They got this. I mean, and I'm not dogging it, but I'm just saying some of the tracks have this self-tech where you have a sheet and you look and whatever. And then what they do is then they have to... They self-tech, and then they have to roll up, and there's a guy that takes their self-tech sheet, right? And then he's assuming that it's been all done, right? So he gives it a nice little glance over, and then he puts the band over around the frame rail that says, it's been taken. That's not going to work. I mean, it's just not. People's heads aren't in the right places on race day. It's just.
I was a tech guy at our track for a few years, and I've said this before. You would be surprised how many people show up with no brakes. You would think that would be top on the list, but people show up at the track with no brakes. You can spin the tire and flip the brake pedal, and nothing happens. It's like, what's up with that? Oh yeah, geez, I forgot about that. How do you do that?
Yeah.
Tech needs to be there, and self-tech is not, because they can stand on the other side of the pit and go, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that.
And you know what? And I guarantee you,
they didn't.
That's what they do. Is just fill it out. It's he don't check it. He just
It's kind of like it with the NHRA when we would do our contingency stuff. Yeah, I got that. Or you run down, they got guys that didn't want stickers on their car. They'd take tape, put them on, take a picture. That's good. Take them off.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I just think the whole I'm glad you brought, because I was going to too, but tech is something that has been like this anyway, kind of wishy-washy, on the fence. Are we having, do we not? Is it motor tech, safety tech? I mean, it's just always been, I just don't understand why it hasn't been more of especially, I mean, let's talk about those guys back there. You're running for big money back there, right? And so I think part of being prepared for running that big money is making sure that you are legal.
Yeah.
And so all that stuff needs to happen.
But Steve, and it's still, and Ransom just put it.
Oh yeah.
Way I like it. It's the volunteers and the staff also need to police it. It's not just a tech guy. It's somebody you're walking by and you see it. You gotta address it. You can't just turn a blind eye to it. Well, God, I only seen one nut on that deal. I'll let it go. Well, no. That thing needs to be double nutted,
right?
And that takes everybody.
It does. But I do think we don't stress enough. I just think it gets kind of Lippy, being a racer, that you need to be safe. It's important, but sometimes it just doesn't fit, right? So it's more of a pain in the ass than it is, and you just kind of just brush it under the rug.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to do. definitely.
And I'll go from a standpoint, I teched at Woodburn for years. And a lot of times after you've seen this car so many times, you just grab their
It's
stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
And that's the one time it'll bite you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
But I mean, I did it. It was, you knew their belts were good. Their, the main stuff was there. But I had guys that we had a car turned over at the other end, and I was standing there and looking, and I reached down, and the stud was loose in the lug nut. Well, they didn't have long enough studs. So they'd screwed the lug nut down, and then they took and cut off bolts and screwed them into the end of it. So they had studs sticking out.
Mm-hmm. Because you had to have studs sticking all the way through the lug nuts on those.
So here I was, thinking after that, I twisted everybody's. It didn't matter.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that pains me, other than the weights too, is, they'll go crazy over the Snell. What is it? 15 now. The 15A or whatever it is.
The helmets, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't look at your jacket.
Oh yeah, no.
They don't look to see. So you got guys out there in long sleeve, sweat coats and these old dress leather coats
with
that
with a hood on it that's flying behind.
Yeah,
motorcycle jerseys. That's a big one at our track. What? This doesn't work? It's a motorcycle jersey.
No, it doesn't work.
That doesn't work. Yeah, exactly. No.
You want it to work? Go over there. There's the track.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take a few jumps with it.
Yeah. So really, I'm glad Mrs. Mullis brought that up, because the ambulance thing is really, but again, that's going to take everybody to say, everybody says, okay, we're not racing till there's an ambulance here. Well, because I'll tell you, at the insane one, when dude came out of his cart and we waited a long time because they had to life flight him out of there. But had that been a really a life-threatening deal, he wouldn't have made it.
Well,
he wouldn't have made it, and neither would this guy have. If that thing would have blasted him in the chest or whatever. I'm just saying, I don't want it to get to that point.
Well, that ASCS last year, they left the track. They had people pack their stuff up, and the sprint car guys left because they didn't have an ambulance on site.
Yeah.
Not good.
That was after a guy got burnt.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I think I saw it in Circle Track magazine a few years back, and it showed just past start-finish, a guy rolled, and then another guy hit him, and he flipped on top. There was like 3 or 4 cars all stacked up around this guy. They were on him, around him. One was sideways, one was upside down next to him. The other one was sitting on top of him. The thing is leaking fuel, and the caption of the story says, and there was no ambulance. If that thing would have went up, or, whatever. Now, I know volunteers have a lot to do with that, right? How are you gonna? But back there's thousands of people there.
Yeah.
So not to beat a dead horse, guys, but
and Dale Kelso says something here, and I'll kind of dispute it because I was around it where you have to sign the release. You sign the release that says you can race. Da 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 da. Well, that release is just about as good as your signature is, because we had guys. We had a guy wreck there at Woodburn. Blamed the track, sued the track.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that says in that liability thing you can't sue the racetrack. But you get a lawyer, he will sue the track.
Well, I like what Ronnie Swire says, because it really is true. It says, I feel tech, pre and post tech, adds a level of professionalism to a track. I do understand that it all has a cost associated with it, but it does. It's a level of professionalism. Look at the Cup guys. They got to push through if their valance doesn't pass or the splitter's too low or whatever. Nope. Back you go.
And now you go 3 times through and somebody gets booted.
Yeah. And you can sigh and pout and gosh darn it, all you want. Go fix it.
Well, answer me this question. If you know what these dimensions are, why do they come to the track? Not right. Some of this stuff is really, It's pushing the envelope. It's just like right now where they're talking about the deal with Harvick. You see the picture of Harvick's car going down the backstretch? The windows
floppy rear window.
The rear window's flopped in.
Yeah,
like
see,
3 inches flopped in.
But again, it's like anything. It's like dealing with kids. You know, wherever you want the bar to be, you better raise it 2 more notches because they're only going to give you what they know they can get away with, right? I mean, they're not going to go anymore. So if you want it to be somewhere, you know, and that's no different with tech. If you want your tech to work, then you're going to rule it with an iron fist. So these guys know that when you come to, hey, we better, especially here, we better not be. What do the guys say? I don't care what your car weighs at home.
Yeah. This is the scales.
The scales we're using. That's right. I don't care what it weighs at home. That one doesn't work. So, yeah. So anyway, good way to bring that up. That's good stuff. So anyway, we're gonna see here. Waiting on Mr. Josh Williams from Charger Chassis. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
You check your shop list, you check off things on your racing to-do list, and you constantly check your micron at the racetrack. But what about when that little check engine light comes on in your car, truck, or tow vehicle? Do you check that or just ignore it? Most can't be bothered, but there is nothing worse than breaking down on the way to a big race or vacation getaway. It's time to start treating and checking your car, truck, or tow rig the right way with a visit to True Tech Automotive for a preventative maintenance service before it costs you more than that big race or vacation getaway you're looking forward to. With 10 service bays, NAPA-certified car care technicians, along with award-winning customer service, True Tech gives you one less thing you have to check.
Get it done right, the first time with the right parts at the right price. And how's this for right? Use the discount code NWRR and receive True Tech's In the Family Racer discount of 25% off all preventative maintenance and vehicle repairs. Just another way, True Tech has been helping their customers keep their vehicles in check since 2008. True Tech Automotive, 6900 Highway 99, Suite A, Vancouver, Washington. Open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. 360-571-2302. Your favorite drivers and people of interest in the motorsports world. It's time for In the Seat, powered by Blue Line Graphics. Well, we've been hyping him up, and he's going to deliver, I guarantee it. We got Mr. Josh Williams from Charger Racing Chassis. What's going on, Josh?
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm great.
So Boomer Esiason was sick? I'm just kidding. Boomer Halk was sick?
Yep. He got sick on us. So
was that because he got scared, do you think?
It could have been. I don't know.
Well, hey, man. So, Josh, tell us quickly what's your background? How long you been racing?
Let's see. This should be about the 27th year in go-karting.
Wow. And last time when we talked, you said you started what at age 5?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So now, how did the relationship with you and Charger develop? How did you get on there?
Well, honestly, I grew up around Boomer, with me and my brother and my granddad and we all raced in the same areas. We all grew up in the same areas. And when Boomer started the company back in 2007, we kind of graduated that way. Scott, my brother, which is my main tech guy, he's been with Boomer pretty much nonstop since then. With Brian Von Cannon, he was his tire guy over there, and he helped with Shay Chavis and them during the heyday when they was winning like the 50,000, the very first one. And when I come back to go-kart racing, I was pulled with my brother, obviously. So,
wow, that's pretty awesome. So now Boomer owns more than just Charger Chassis, right? He owns some other businesses there.
Yeah, Charger Racing Chassis actually is what started his whole business deal, and that grew into a full-blown machine shop and fab shop, and it's called CRC Machine and Fab. But he does industrial machining and fabbing for lots of different big companies there.
Wow. So, and then go ahead.
We actually produce, I'm going to say, a good 90% of all of our go-kart parts. We don't really have to buy from another company, but just random parts that they sell cheaper than it would cost us to set it up to make. So,
Gotcha. So some of the stuff you source it inside, but some of it you don't?
Yeah, just like the wheel hubs and stuff, we'll buy them. But everything else on the go-kart we make in-house.
Wow. So that's pretty cool. That keeps quality control really good, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So okay, so Charger got started in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Was it an immediate success, or did you have to creep up on it, or?
When it first started out, it technically started out in 2006, but Boomer and Kelly incorporated in 2007. They had, it was more of a local based fan base right there around Bessemer City, North Carolina, South Carolina area. And I'm going to say 2009, late in 2009, when they started on the Magnum, that's when the popularity really started picking up. And then when, like I said earlier, Shay Chavis and Brian Von Cannon had a lot to do with that, with Boomer and Scott, and there's plenty of other people that was involved, obviously, back then, that really kind of put them on the map. But 2009 and 10 and 11 were the big years that really put us on the map.
Right. So now, let's just hypothetical. I'm looking at an Ultramax. Well, I'm looking at an Ultramax, and and maybe I'm not sure, a Legend or whatever. What's gonna, if I go with Charger, what's gonna set me apart? What's gonna be the selling point for you that's gonna make me want to buy a Charger instead of something else?
Well, with the Prodigy, which is our go-kart that we've got out now, we've done on and off track testing for, you wouldn't believe how long, with the new chassis dyno and some other pieces of equipment. But we pushed to build a go-kart that was more tire friendly for the user, easier to work on, and the support that we give as a factory is bar none to everybody else. All of our office lines are tied to my cell phone, so it doesn't matter where I'm at or when it is, the phone always rings, and as long as I'm not absolutely tied up with something else, we answer the phone, and we do anything and everything we can to help you through whatever you're going through.
Wow.
That's dedication right there, Josh, for sure. So your Prodigy is your latest chassis, is that not correct?
Yes, sir.
And then behind that is the Dynasty and the Legacy?
The Legacy was the last 2 years, and the Dynasty was before that for 2 years.
I really like the looks of the Legacy. I particularly like the inner rail on the right-hand side that carries up past the seat. To me, that was very intriguing. You don't see that a lot in the chassis. And running a two-stroke, sometimes I want to get that motor as far forward as I can. And in most modern chassis, that doesn't happen. With that one, it would definitely happen. And that was what was very intriguing about that. That one compared to the Prodigy, is their window of setup pretty much the same? What I'm getting at is, do they have a pretty large window, or is it a narrow window for the sweet spot?
It's pretty large, actually. I've got several guys that's riding that I get a lot of my feedback from, with Donnie Nall, and just signed on with Jonathan Wheeler. And both of them guys, their setups are almost polar opposites of each other, but that's just their driving styles. Going back to that right-hand rail that you was talking about, if you like that on the Legacy, that is basically almost the same rail on the Prodigy. There's very little differences to the naked eye, just looking at the two chassis.
Oh, nice. See, I went through your guys' website and I found the Legacy and the Dynasty and that, but it wasn't until I was just about done that I found the Prodigy and didn't even realize that it was new out there. But that's good. I haven't found a lot of pictures of it, so that just must mean it's because it is so new for you guys.
Yeah, we just released it in October. And I'm actually working with the website guy right now, trying to get all of the updated stuff for the Prodigy put on the actual website. You can find more of that information and pictures of the chassis and all of that on our Facebook page, Charger Racing Chassis, and Instagram, and also on the online store that you can find right there on the website.
Yeah, that is actually where I found it. Was Facebook is where I found the Prodigy, which looks like a great piece. Does it also, and this is something else I found on the website that was very interesting to me, does it also come with the stainless steel Nerfs and bumpers?
We have actually changed up to carbon steel powder coated, but we do still offer the stainless steel.
Nice.
The reason we done that is the increase on the stainless steel price. We didn't want to have to go up on our prices from last year on our consumers.
Gotcha.
That's awesome. Well, I'm talking, and I was told, because you look at all these go-karts, and you look like from where the kingpins are mounted in the front, and, you've got how it veers left, I guess they call it the waist, right there where the gas tank sits and everything. I mean,
yeah,
you've got that, but somebody told me that crossbar that goes from where the motor mounts go underneath the seat over to the left rail is a critical component. I mean, is there any truth to that?
You talking about the front seat bar or the rear seat bar?
Well, how about both? I mean, can you maybe run us through the importance of those, or is one more important than the other?
Both of them are very important, because both of them contribute to the spring rate of the go-kart. It's everything about a go-kart is extremely complicated to really fully, truly understand why we bend them the way we bend them and why we position them where we bend them. And just recently with that chassis dyno that we got, back in 2016 ish.
Now, is that one where you just strap it down and you can run it through travel individually, each corner and stuff, or?
Yes. Well, it's got a load cell on all four corners, and as we flex the go-kart, it tells us the spring rate and reflex rate of the chassis. And it honestly, it took us a little while to even figure out how to correctly use it.
Amen, brother.
Wow, I bet that's interesting, though. I mean, how critical is that?
It's very critical.
It's a huge tool.
And with that tool, we actually test every go-kart before it rolls out the door, and it has a window that it has to meet, and if it don't, then it gets cut up and tossed in the can.
Wow.
That's impressive. So it's just not build and go. You guys actually have a stress test on everything. That's impressive.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that is cool. Well, the waste of it, the part. I mean, God, I'm just wondering how a guy even figures out how to even get started on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It took, and we tried several different waste in our go-karts during the testing procedures. And with the numbers and everything that we were looking for, that's kind of where we landed with the Prodigy. And obviously, moving forward, we will continue to find other things that we feel like will make it better, and then we'll test that. But with the off-track and on-track test that we done for every bit of 18 months on the Prodigy, that's by far the best piece that we've ever had.
Wow. Now, when that thing is on the chassis dyno, is it also when you're load testing, let's say the right front, you run it through travel or whatever, is it also giving you the loads on the other three wheels too?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a big tool.
Wow.
Definitely a big tool. So between the Prodigy and the Legacy, you said if you looked at them, you really couldn't tell. What did you change on it? Was it wrist width, or was it the
tubing size or whatever?
Yeah. What was it?
If you look at them back to back, you can see the differences. But if you was to walk up on them, one at the racetrack right here, and then walk 300 foot, you'd be hard to tell. But the front end geometry, the rear end geometry, and the waist geometry all changed in that go-kart. Technically, every bar in the Prodigy is different from the Legacy. Every bar.
Wow. That's a revamp there then.
Yes.
That's awesome. So were the changes you made noticed right away, or was it something that you guys had to change setup numbers all the way around? Because you changed that many points in it. Your setup from one to the other was big difference or not big difference?
Both. It was big. When we first built the first prototype, we had instant success.
Wow.
With it, and then we changed some things because we thought we needed to go a direction, and it was not as good as we thought. And that's you learn from trial and error.
Absolutely.
And it didn't take us long to figure out which direction that we did need to go, and we continued to work in that direction slowly but surely. And once we got to where all of our test pilots and all of the people involved with testing got to where, it was so easy for them to work on it, easy to hit the tires. The biggest thing about this go-kart is the roll speed that this go-kart produces, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to miss the tires more than you're going to hit them, okay? And when you miss the tires on this go-kart, it still has speed to where you're still going to be competitive. You're not going to be, miss the tires and go from sitting on the pole to sitting outside the show.
Yeah.
So that means it's forgiving then. That's something that is not seen in a lot of chassis. You miss and you're done. So that's pretty big.
Right. And then honestly, that was our goal. We've got to build a go-kart to make this easier. It's no secret that the go-kart community is shrinking, and if we can't figure out a way to make this stuff easier, we're not going to get new blood in the sport because it's just too hard,
Yeah.
Hallelujah, right?
Yeah. That was a boatload of goodness right there in that. Gee whiz. Because you're right.
Can you explain to the listeners out there that may not know, they may know it, but we don't talk roll speed that much out here. Because I was told guys are taking sets of tires, and let's just say, we'll just use the number 10, for example. They got 10 sets of tires, and they don't do anything to those tires except mount them up, set them to their pressures, go out and run 3 or 4 laps on them to see which sets are the fastest. Is that true?
There are some people that do that, for sure. And it's true in any form of racing that you go to. You're going to have people that's willing to put in the work and go further and a step further than everybody else. And, there are a lot of people that do that. If they feel like if they can go and scuff tires and they can find one set that's fast, then, they're going to work with that tire more than they are with others.
So what exactly is roll speed then when we're talking, okay, we missed the tires, but our roll speed's still going to be good? What can you give us a reference?
All right. So basically, I guess the best way I know to explain this is if you set your go-kart down on the grid with 20 pounds of air in all four tires, it's going to roll extremely easy. And then if you take all of the air out of the tires and try and push it, you're going to have to really push it to get it to move, With this thing, it's true with tires. If you got the right tire on a go-kart, it'll fire up off the grid better than if you're too hard or too soft because you're just too into the track or not into it deep enough,
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Nice.
Boy, I mean, people don't understand. They hear the word go-kart. They don't understand the technology that's actually there. We were talking last night. It was like there's as much technology as there is the Cup guys. I mean, if you truly ask me, it's just on a smaller level.
And I agree with you. We've got a lot of stuff that we go through and test and look at and all the time trying to find more speed. And like I said, the biggest thing about our company is we don't treat our customers like, cash cows. We treat every one of our customers just like their family, so I'm going to do the same thing for my customer that I do for my own brother,
Right on. Well, so let's just say, for example, I had an arrive and drive deal, and I wanted to get new go-karts. If I'm buying more than one, is it still going to be the same price, or do you guys barter and wheel and deal on that side? Is there a discount thing if you buy more than one, or?
We can always work with people on their individual wants and needs, and we're willing to do that. Obviously, we are running a business, and we've got to keep the overhead going, and all the materials and stuff bought. So, I mean, we will work with people.
And I don't mean on a single one. I'm just talking if a guy's going to buy 3 or 4 for whatever. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome too, man. That's really. I guess it's just on a case by case basis then, basically. So what's on tap for Charger? You got anything new? You got the Prodigy there. You got anything new that's going to be coming out, or anything that you can let us know about that you're working on?
Well, and actually, we've got the Prodigy and the Prodigy Cadet. There's 2 different go-karts, that we're selling right now, and we've got the Champ Buggy version, which is the roll cage. They're pretty big down here in the Southeast. I don't think they get a whole lot of following everywhere else. But we are working on a couple of other projects. Here in the future, we'll be releasing a little bit more about it.
Cool, man.
But at this point, we're not ready to say too much about it yet.
No, I got you.
So do you have anything that's geared more towards the higher horsepower, or is most of your stuff built for the clones and the 206s and the flatheads?
Well, down here in the Southeast, primarily it is clones, flatheads, animals, stuff like that. But we do have a decent following of UAS guys down here in the Southeast, and we've got a couple of them guys that we rely heavily on with our testing with the higher horsepower stuff. And so far it's been really good in the showing on that. with Terry Hollifield. He's got a new prodigy that he's going to be wheeling. So.
Oh, nice! I'm looking forward to that. He's a heck of a wheel, just as much as Jr. is, who's another great wheel for you guys.
Oh yeah, Tippins.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
who are some of the hot dogs on your stuff back there?
We've got Donnie Knoll is our house pilot. J.R. Tippins, like you said, we just got signed up with the 55 cartel with Jonathan Wheeler and Chavis Bowling, and we got Shane Bass, this whole group with the X Factor Preps up there in Virginia, with Ty Bass and Adam Bevel, Dwayne Wade in the super heavy deal, and Mitch Hendricks just signed on with the 55 cartel, so we got another super heavy hitter. So,
wow.
I was on your guys' website, and I really like the RS package. It is very well thought out. I mean, that thing has everything. If you're looking for something that's set up as far as just bolting wheels on and going, your guys' RS setup is there, all the way down to the tack mount. I mean, that is just a fabulous package. I love the way it's all set up, and you don't pretty much have to do anything with that one. It's a good deal right there.
absolutely, yeah. And we try to put as much thought into all of our packages, and really kind of step back and think, before all of Charger was here, when we bought a go-kart, when it showed up to our place, what we wish they would have done for us, and we try to put as much effort into doing what we wish them people would have done for us.
Thinking about the racer, imagine that.
Yeah, it's very refreshing to hear.
Yeah.
I got two more questions for you, and the first one is, since you've been with Charger since the beginning, what was your personal favorite chassis?
As of now, the Prodigy.
Really?
Honestly. Yes.
Nice. And
Yeah.
what was your favorite moment in go-kart racing? What for you, being you're a racer and along with the build process, what was your favorite moment? Was it somebody else's win? Was it one of your wins? Was it not a win? Was it just the success of a new chassis that came out? What was your moment?
Honestly, my favorite moment of racing was just the togetherness of all of my family being there as I was growing up racing. That to me is a lot bigger than all the wins and all of that. But if you start talking about accomplishments and stuff like that, the 50,000 that Boomer and them won was a really good moment. And I'm looking to cast a light over that because we're going to do a lot of really good things this year.
That's pretty cool right there.
Nice. I like it.
I'll bet you Boomer was pretty was liking that 50 grand win too, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, a lot of people don't know it, but Brian Von Cannon and Shay was both riding for Charger, and both of them had the go-kart to win. And then 2 weeks later in Jasper, Florida, at the INX 25 or INX 100, excuse me, they paid $25,000 and they finished 1-2 down there too.
Wow.
Dang.
Now you said you had a pretty good weekend this past weekend. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we did. We had a really good weekend. J.R. Tippins picked up a couple wins down there at the Frost Buster at Talladega. We had the 55 Cartel. They picked up, I think, 3 or 4 wins down at the Ultimate Karting Series / Fat Daddy at Patriot. And Donnie Knoll and his posse up there, they won several races at the NC State race. I think it was Donnie, Lake Price, Josh Splicer, they all won there. And then Andy Osborne, that just jumped on the go-karts here, he won down at Triple T. Shane Bass won in Virginia in Super Heavy. We had a pretty good weekend there. And Hunter Thibodeau in Louisiana, he picked up his go-kart Friday and went down there and run 5 classes and won 3 of them.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive. You know,
Wow.
I just want to bring this up because you corrected me yesterday when I said to you, I said, you know, they need to ask you questions because, you know, you don't want your chassis to look bad. So you're going to give them any and all information that they need, right? And you corrected me and you said, you know, I don't care what chassis they have. If they call us, we're going to do it.
If they need support, we're going to do it, man. Whether they're on our stuff or not, if they're calling us needing help, we're going to help them.
Careful with that.
No, I really think that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's very cool.
It's really cool. I mean, because you just a lot of times they don't even want to fool with it. So, how many cars a year now? You told me how many cars? This was the Prodigy when we were talking yesterday, right? You said it just came out into November, right? And
beginning of November-ish. I think we're up. I tried to count this earlier, but I got busy at the shop and had to run around. I think we're right around 150 sold since then.
Wow, that's great. Holy moly!
Meaning on the West Coast?
Let's see. I think the furthest west that they have went so far is Nebraska.
Making their way.
do you have a dealer out here?
No.
We do have J and M in Nebraska. That's probably my furthest one out there.
Yeah.
And then we got Clearwater in Iowa and Lakitis up in Illinois. So those are probably my furthest ones out west. All in Fairfield, Missouri.
And does it take a lot to? I mean, I don't know. Wouldn't hurt to have a dealer out here, would it?
No, it would be absolutely phenomenal to have a dealer out there.
There you go, Lippy. Start your own business. Oh, you got one. I forgot.
Well, that's cool, Josh. That's super cool. So, guys, I mean, you're hearing it right here. I mean, Josh Williams. I mean, he's hands on in this stuff, and I mean, I don't know. I guess
very genuine.
Yeah, and everything just kind of sells itself and speaks for itself, you know. So if they're interested or thinking, man, you know, I think I want to know more about this, where should they go?
They can give us a call at the shop, and like I said earlier, it always rings my cell phone. Shop number is 704-750-4880. If they want to kind of look over stuff, they can go to the website, and that's chargerchassis.net, or find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You know, we're always on there.
Yeah, and you guys will be blown away. Even the website, I mean, the pictures were super professional. I mean,
they're full service too. They've got a little bit of everything on their site. It's not just a chassis and there you go. They're selling quite a bit of stuff on there. Lots of affiliation.
And you said you're revamping your, I mean, because that spindle was beautiful. You're revamping that, making some small changes, and so that's going to be coming out too, right?
Yeah, we are working on the second version of the Magic Spindle. I know everybody was kind of crazy over it, and there was some people that didn't really like the whole bushing idea, so we're reworking that and going to get a bearing put in there and retest on some of that stuff.
Wow,
it looked very impressive. I was impressed with it too.
Well, wait till you see this picture he sent me. I'm going to show you of the Big O. You're not gonna believe your eyes. It's absolutely unbelievable. Well, Josh, man, go ahead.
That's another thing. Like all of you big horsepower guys, if you get the chance to come to the Big O, it's always in August, the weekend closest to the 9th of August. It is a tribute race, and the reason it's there is the Big O, Otis Merritt. His birthday was August 9th, so the weekend closest to it's when we have that every year. That is a throwback and big horsepower weekend. That is what that is. Flathead Open is the big show, but we always have a little bit of money up in UAS, and there's Pro Limited Modified that Flathead's also that we put some money up in, and then we also do the Overhead Valve Open class. And the last couple of years, we've had champ buggies with limited modifieds on it, and they've put on a heck of a show.
Wow. Yeah, I'll bet. That's
Nice.
so cool. That's super cool. Yeah, because Josh does all the parking for that deal.
Oh.
What do you say? You said you had 50 acres?
Yeah, it's like, I think it's 50 acres at Patriot there. So yeah. And you've seen the picture. I mean, there wasn't.
It's like a
hardly
small.
anywhere
It's like
left.
a small city. It is. It's like a
Yeah.
small city. It's crazy. Well, Josh, man, I'll tell you what. We'll do that. And on the same token, at the end of January every year, we have a big one called the Buddha Kinzer Memorial, the BK. And
Okay.
you should definitely come out to that one time, because it's I think it's grown. I mean, it's been only 10 years, but each year it's gotten tougher and tougher and tougher. And I mean, Yao said it was one of the toughest he's ever been in, so that's got to tell you something.
Yeah, and I mean that's pretty awesome. Both of these races started basically around the same time. This year will be the 11th annual Big O. So if that was the 10th one, we started almost at the same time with these tributes.
That is cool,
That
man. I
is,
didn't
yeah.
realize that. That's awesome. Maybe one year we'll have to combine them both. Could you imagine that? There's our super dirt week right there.
Super horsepower.
Yeah, super horsepower week right there. Yeah, that would be super cool.
It would take all week to run it too.
Yes, it would, but it'd be worth every second of it.
Well, now that taking all week thing, that's one thing that I didn't say about the Big O. That's the cool thing about it. Like I did say, it was a throwback, and we don't run 40 classes that weekend. I think last year we only had 18 classes over 2 days. So
That's pretty good. 9 a day or whatever.
the first day was supposed to be 6 classes, 6 or 7, and the remainder was on Saturday. But unfortunately, it rained out in the middle of qualifying on Friday night, and Boomer, being the guy that he is, he said, I don't want to take the chance of all these people that traveled this far and wanted to race not to get that opportunity to race. So we'll run all of them on Saturday. And, so we did. And it was a long day, unfortunately. But
I was going to say there was a 9 or 10 o'clock finish on that one, huh? Or later.
or AM.
yeah, it was well into the next morning.
It was well into the AM, there you say.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
man.
Nice.
Well,
But
John,
I mean, he didn't want to take the opportunity and not let people race that traveled that far and paid all that money and anticipated to get the race. So
Yeah.
that's awesome, man.
He sounds like a good guy.
Well, guys, there you go. Josh, I want to say it has been an absolute honor getting to know you and stuff, and we gotta stay in touch and keep things
For sure.
keep things rolling. Let us know what we can do here at the Northwest Race Report to help out Charger. Whatever you need, we'll do what we can to spread the word and help you sell some go-karts.
cool, man. And if we can ever do anything for you, you got my number. Just give me a buzz and let me know what it is, and we'll do what we can.
Well, we could have a Northwest Race Report chassis.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we can talk about that.
Right on, Josh. I appreciate your time, man, and I'll be in touch with you. Okay.
All righty, buddy. Thank you.
You betcha. Bye bye.
See you.
Well, there you have it. Was I lying?
No, another great bunch for sure. Just can't believe our luck here so far.
Well, you know what? I think in a nutshell here is they're all great people, right? They're just all trying to brand their stuff, and but I love how he said, we don't knock other people's, we don't
Well, what I see from the first two here is they're out for one thing, and that is the betterment and the continuation of the sport.
Well put.
Great point.
Well put.
That's what I'm hearing.
Right, and the fact that he says, it's not rocket science that we're losing go-karters, because it is that, right? And I'm telling you guys, if you're on the fence, you need to at least go look at these things. Lippy probably knows a ton more than me, but all I can tell you is, from what my eyes can see, this thing it's well made. It's well thought out. I mean, there's no junk about it.
Oh, you just go to their website, and on their website they've got their list of achievements, and they've got their wins broken down by years. And I thought last night, well, I'm just going to write down a few of their big wins. I started into that thing, and oh my God, just for last year, the amount of wins they had was phenomenal. I mean, they go into first, second, and thirds, but still, I mean, the chassis does very well, very well.
So yeah, it'd be worth to
just what he said last weekend. What the heck?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was 18, I think, is what they sort of. And the other thing Josh told me too was that anybody that's out west here that is on a Charger, you need to contact him, and you need to send him your results, because he says when I get that stuff, they've got a page there. If you look at the bottom, you can click on it, and it'll say results, and it brings up, and they got a cool section with the little, it's got the little badge with the ribbon on it,
exactly.
and he says, I'll pump that like crazy on Facebook. They're always looking to, promote the race teams that are willing to send them those results. So, man, help yourself by doing that, because these guys are for real. I mean,
give them a swing, and that's part of the whole deal of this show. Yes, the Ultramax, the Phantoms, those are the ones to have. Those are the ones that everybody chases after, blah, blah, blah. But this is the whole point of the show, is to put the light on some of the people that aren't there, and these are great chassis. It's just that it's always monkey see, monkey do. That's what's doing it, so that's what we're going to buy. But it's not, folks. These other ones are just as good, just as fast. You just got to give them a chance. And a lot of times, their depth of help is a lot better, because let's face it, when they got, Phantom, for instance, has so many chassis out there, they can't answer every single call and help every single person. So by giving these other people a swing at it, you're going to get results and help faster, because they don't have the oodles and gobbies of people ringing their phones all the time. It's not that they're not as good. They just haven't had the chance. So give them a chance.
I agree. I just got to read this, because this is true Chizzy form right here. Batesville, 2010. Guy got thrown out of a cart and was run over. One cart ran over his arm. The next cart ran over his leg. I nicknamed him Roadkill. Got the stank eye from him on that one, LOL.
I saw that one come through.
Chizzy's just crazy.
Well, I like his other one here. It's with the Flexolite ping pong paddle. Been watching Forrest Gump.
Oh, man, it's pretty awesome. So, anyway, Josh Williams is a good guy.
Yep.
I would certainly encourage you to, if you're shopping, to definitely give him a try. And he asked me if I knew who Sean Carr was.
Oh.
So I think Sean Carr may be leaning towards that way, which would be super cool. And so, yeah, hang on. You know what? I got to get this in before we get out of here. So we'll be right back right after this. Racer. Word Racing now has a brand new location in Clackamas, Oregon at 15648 Southeast 114th Avenue, Suite 110, next to Highway 212 and conveniently located close to the I-205 freeway. They have what you need to race fast and race safe with product lines like ZAMP, Z-Tech, Pyrotech, GripTech, Armadillo, and a 360 Plus device. And that's not all. Chains, wheels, tires,
lubricants and the Northwest distributor for the innovative and made-in-America iCart chassis and the new X125 engine.
New or used, arrive and drive, coaching and tuning. Word Racing's got you covered from start to finish. You're winning trackside support since 2007. For more information, call 503-869-4970 or check them out on Facebook and on the web at wordracing.com. All right, we're back. Thank you, producer. That was a good save there.
Oh my God! Ernie
Confer.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Preach. Say it again. Monkey see, monkey do.
It's
So true.
it is
Blue Gatorade, folks. Blue Gatorade.
or orange.
We're switching.
I don't know if you saw this post. I was looking for the stuff on the weights on Mrs. Mullis's page, but I scrolled down and there's a track back east called Triple T Raceway, I think, and she says this is why I think Terry Odom's one of the best promoters in the business. So I went down and he put a video up, and it was a pretty large show. I guess they had a very good turnout, and a lot of people were there. But I guess it was just a cluster, you know what, from qualifying to getting the main, whatever. It was just, I guess it was just a train wreck. They had a new scorer and whatever. But he got on and he, his in a nutshell, he says, I'm not here to make any excuses. I'm not here to, boo-hoo about what happened. All I can tell you is, what happened last night is unacceptable. We've got kids out here that are, I've got young kids too, so because there were some moms that were upset. But I just wanted to shout out Terry Odom just because it takes guts to get up there and say, and he says, no matter what happened, who was new, who wasn't new, all this stuff, he says, it falls on me. And he says, I sincerely apologize for it. He says, I'm going to make the adjustments we need to make so that this doesn't happen again. But he says, I'll talk to anybody. If you've got an issue or you got a problem, call me. We don't need to take care of it on Facebook. Call me. But before you badmouth me and do that, give me a shot to repair it. And then if you want to bash me and do whatever, if I don't do that, then more power to you. But and he says, and not just me, but any promoter. So if you got an issue, you got problems, go talk to him, give him a shot to, fix it before you totally bash him and, stomp him on the ground. And I just thought that was really a cool and classy way to do it. Got up there and he ate it. It's on me. Took responsibility. And I think for that, all the people that support him, because you looked at all the comments and it was like, you know what? It happens. It was still a great show. We loved it. The racetrack was awesome. I mean, you just can't go wrong if you just, like you were always saying, just own it,
Yeah, well, own it. Keep it positive. In fact, right now there's an issue going over here in Eastern Washington with the Republic. At Republic, they're at Eagle Raceway. It's a group-run thing, club-run thing. They've got a board of directors. They had a meeting the other day. People started bad-mouthing the board. The board got up and walked out.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, it's one guy on Facebook bashing this guy and this guy and this guy. And the one guy that they're really trashing is the guy that spent thousands of dollars last year out of his own pocket to rebuild stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why are you guys putting this out like this? And I just made it simple. I posted on there. I said, guys, you keep your backstabbing up, put a fork in it, because you guys are done.
Yeah. And honestly, you waste all that energy doing that, and you do nothing to find a solution for it. I mean, that's wasted energy right there.
Yeah.
You could be using that energy to do what's right, And
he's trying to take over the track, and he's trying to do this. Well,
you don't.
He brought in some big shows last year. So what are you going to do? Well, we just want to run this, this, and this. So it becomes, as the one person come back and said, you're making this your own personal playground. You're not making it a racetrack for people to come to.
And out of all those complainers, how many of them do you see sprinting up there,
Nope.
offering to do something?
Nope. And I made a call to a couple people that I know, and that's exactly what they told me. He says these guys are just perpetual complainers,
yeah,
and nothing's ever positive coming out of it. So.
And typically those guys they don't race either.
And it's just so sad. Why does it got to go to social media? Why can't you keep it within yourself? Because right now, all of a sudden, everybody's going, well, are they going to race? What are they going to do? I know Watkins, they're planning on going to Northport to race up there in that corner, but that also at Eagle would have been a good place for them to run their modified.
Well, in all the racing that I've done and all the racing that I've watched and seen and whatever, there's going to be things you don't like, but here's what I've seen. I've never seen a perfect racetrack anywhere.
Nope.
And I've never seen anything, a race run where it's been so perfect that nobody can, complain. There's politics everywhere. There's issues everywhere. There's things we don't even know about that's happening, but yet the race is still going on. So, the bottom line is go race. That's really the deal. Do you want to race or do you want to talk about it and make a big, there's politics everywhere. You're not going to go anywhere wherever that is. So it's not going to be any better over here than it is over there, right?
It's just like I say. The posts that are coming up on social media are hateful.
Yeah,
that's just
it works.
Yeah, it is. It's yeah.
Welcome to the 21st century.
Correct.
What I have to say about that, you say it's politics. Politics, the easiest way to deal with politics is get involved. So if you don't like the way things are doing, become a board member. When you become a board member, you become a voice. So you can fight for what you want. And if you get more people involved, more board members, that's how you win things that you want is, not just be standing on the outside throwing rocks to the inside. Get involved with it and become part of the process and change people's minds and encourage them, and tell them why that you want things to be changed and you don't want them to be the way they are. It takes a majority to do that. If you're just going to stand there and throw rocks, people are going to ignore you.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Get involved.
What do they say? You're either part of the problem
or you're part of the solution.
Thank you.
It doesn't get any more simple than that. So I think, and we're all guilty of it.
Oh, yeah.
To some degree, right? And so, like I said, before you go and lose your mind, take a step back, think about it for a second, and because that doesn't help Republic
at all
have races there this coming season. So at the end of the day, they're really going to lose because they're not going to have anywhere to go.
Chizzy says, buy more ammo and blue Gatorade.
The thing that I think that...
Chizzy would be a hell of a board member, wouldn't he?
Oh.
He needs to make T-shirts. He's a great logo guy. And the thing about the social media that the people just don't realize is most of those people that get on there and have a negative something to say, by the next week they've already forgotten about it and aren't worried about it anymore, but that negative post stays there forever and ever and ever until they decide to take it down or something crashes. So people need to think about that and think before they go and spout off about that stuff, because you're over it, but everybody else from that point on gets to read it and have an opinion because of your opinion that you've already forgotten about. So think about that before you go posting stuff, people.
Yeah, no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah, right.
Track will close next.
True.
Well, the thing of it is with that, it's a county-owned facility. So, the county can say, well, we've had enough.
Well, yeah, bad publicity. We don't want any of that.
Hey, and before we get out of here, I want to shout out Mikey Clark.
Oh, yeah.
They drove 3,000 miles only to get rained out at Chico. And where'd they go? Arizona, and he ran like a house of fire. I didn't see the results,
He
but
started 12th in the main out of 22 cars, finished 7th.
wow,
Yeah.
incredible.
And the first time being there. So I got to watch the video. So,
That's a W.
yeah, it is.
That's a W.
The real W is they drove it in the trailer,
yeah, all in one piece.
all in one piece.
Right.
Hey, I got a couple things here that if you're itching to see a little bit of racing and a little bit of noise, next weekend on the 17th, South Sound's got a test and tune from 11 to 4.
Ooh.
I'm gonna smell a little rubber burning, a little bit of fuel.
Somebody needs a fix.
I won't be able to do that, but I would love to. But so Nick Ben has got everything open and rolling there then.
Yep. And then Cottage Grove, the weather permitting, will be open for a play day. So racing season's coming.
It's right around the corner.
It's coming.
What is it, 30? Today I think it was 39 days until the opener for the Ford Focus guys.
And then March 31st, Super Lates at Evergreen. That should be a good show.
That'll be a really good show. The Fall Classic at Spokane.
Yep. I'm loving that. That just made my day because I kept thinking, oh, that's gone.
Yep. I wonder if they'll pick up the Apple Cup too.
Right now, this is all they had. So, and then on by the middle of April, both Sunset and Willamette Speedway will be open for business.
Sweet.
And then the first weekend in April is the big Sprint Car Modified show over at Yakima. Summer Thunder Sprint Cars and Washington Modified Tours. There's 3 days of racing, actually 2 days of racing, but they get on the 5th. They get to dust the crap out of their cars and go do a little bit of testing, and then the 6th and 7th they'll be racing.
So that's what's coming up. Hey, if you got an event that you want us to get out of here, give us a shout. Let us know. We're always looking for good content. If you got a topic you'd like to see us chat about or you think needs covered, please drop us a line.
Absolutely.
We got our thinking caps on, but it's sometimes we get podcast block.
Too blocked.
Yeah. So
Last weekend, KB and I had a really great meeting with Castle Rock. Looks like things are moving along appropriately. Our dates were given to them. They're okay with it. They will be voting on it as a club this weekend, but everything looks really good about that.
Josh Williams put on their work with each other, not against.
Amen.
The greater good.
And Mikey, remember them times with your dad. That is special.
It is. Win, lose, or draw it is. I want to shout out Josh Williams from Charger Racing Chassis for being, just an awesome, informative, cool cat, man. Super cool. I am a fan of Charger Chassis. I didn't know much about him before, but I can tell you will not go wrong. I'm confident of that.
Good stuff there for sure.
Good stuff there. Next week, Lip.
Next week we'll be having Legend. Come tune in for that one. We'll have our 4-stroke guru on next week to tell us about Legend 4-stroke chassis. Some good stuff coming next week, folks. Be tuned up.
Super good stuff. I'll be at Salem this weekend. Let's see. Yeah, I'll be at Salem this weekend, and then the 17th.
We'll be out at South.
No, I'll be at
Elma.
No, Salem will be going on the 17th.
Yep.
This weekend is the Pacific Northwest Micro Wingless Nationals. So that's going to be a good show. 2 days of racing, $2,000 each day. Come on out. Say hi.
Be some good stuff.
Next week, we got Legend as our Blue Line Graphics in the Seat guest as our chassis month continues. And also in the studio,
Ronnie Swire.
Mr. Ronnie Swires.
Man, he's good.
Yeah,
Really?
He's a Ford driving coach. He's getting ready to leave for 23 days, I think, or whatever. And so we'll get to hear all about that and what he's doing. He's doing good things for the sport, too. So he's with Product 41. So you can go to product41.com and give him a shout. He'll take good care of you, guaranteed.
Nice. We got a full one next week.
It's going to be awesome. So make your plans to be here, everybody. We appreciate the support. We always take constructive criticism. If there's something you like, something you didn't like, let us know. Lippy, I'll see you next week. The loader, he's counting the days till retirement. Woohoo! Yeah. So we'll find out next week how many days, how many minutes, how many seconds he's got. So be sure you join us. Thanks a lot, everybody. We love you. Josh Williams, you are the man, dude. Thanks for being on the show. Lippy, when somebody is on the bottom, where do you go?
The high side.
All righty. There you go, Ernie Confer.
Keeping us honest.
Wait a damn minute. That's not how you end the show.
I guess we got to remember that.
We've been good about it. Today we were just way over. And
We weren't way over. We just.
I put recheck the end of the show.
Yeah, that deal with Republic's is sad.
it's common anymore. I
But
just
it's
don't get that.
that's that Darren brought all of his. He's a logger. Brought all of his equipment in.